Don't scroll. This is not a joke. My beloved child. Heaven has been watching the one who smiled in your face, yet whispered poison behind your name. The one who hugged you with soft hands, but held a knife of jealousy behind your back. You kept wondering why every blessing slipped away, why peace turned to confusion, why your light dimmed even though your heart was pure. God says, that woman who pretended to love you was never sent by me, she was sent to test your discernment. She laughed with you, cried with you, prayed with you, but when you weren't looking, she built traps to break your confidence. She wanted your peace, your energy, your grace. But heaven has stepped in. The mask she wore has started to crack. The fake love she carried cannot survive under divine light anymore. Every word she used to manipulate will now echo against her own spirit. God says, the same hands that tried to destroy you in silence will now tremble when your name rises in victory. You were not weak for trusting her. You were chosen to show the difference between human loyalty and divine truth. The pain you felt wasn't punishment, it was proof that you carry light strong enough to expose hidden darkness. Heaven whispers, do not seek revenge, your silence already did more than her words ever could. Because when God fights your battle, He doesn't need noise. He needs truth. And the truth has already spoken your name. Something is shifting even now, dreams will reveal faces, conversations will expose secrets, and unexpected messages will confirm what your soul already felt. You are not crazy for sensing betrayal. You were gifted with spiritual radar. The woman who smiled in your face thought no one saw her shadow, but heaven did. And heaven just turned every weapon she formed into your crown of strength. So lift your head, my beloved child. The pain that tried to bury you is about to make you bloom. The light that was dimmed by deception is returning brighter than ever before. God says, I am not just exposing, I am reversing. Every curse spoken in silence is now broken in my name. Don't scroll. This is not a joke. My beloved child. There are moments when heaven remains silent, watching as darkness tries to imitate light. You've been surrounded by laughter that felt warm, yet it carried cold intentions. There was a woman who looked at you with kind eyes, spoke gentle words, and pretended to stand by your side, but her heart was filled with envy. She smiled in your face while secretly celebrating your downfall. She acted like a friend, but she was a messenger of confusion sent to steal your peace. God says, my child, I allowed her presence not to destroy you, but to reveal to you how strong your light truly is. For a long time, you couldn't understand why everything you touched started falling apart. Why the blessings that were meant for you suddenly delayed. Why your dreams became heavy, your heart restless. But heaven saw what was hidden, the whispers behind your back, the prayers twisted against your name, the silent curses sent with a smiling face. God is not blind to betrayal. Every silent plot she planted in the dark is now uncovered under divine fire. The same tongue that spoke against you, God says, will confess your name in victory soon. Your soul felt her energy long before your mind could understand. You sensed the shift. You felt something was wrong. That was me, says the Lord, whispering through your intuition, protecting you before the storm. I watched her sow doubt, trying to make you question yourself, trying to convince others you weren't who I called you to be. But what she didn't know is that I was watching every move. Every lie became a seed of her own downfall. The same energy she sent to break you will return multiplied upon her spirit, because I am a God of justice. Now, my beloved, the exposure begins. Faces will change. Masks will fall. The truth will come through dreams, through sudden conversations, through unexpected confirmations. You will no longer chase answers, answers will find you. The one who destroyed you in silence will face silence from heaven, and that silence will be her judgment. You don't need to fight her. Your peace is the sword I placed in your hand. Be still, says God, and watch me make your pain speak louder than her lies. You have carried the wound quietly, but heaven has been preparing your comeback loudly. The tears that fell in secret were the ink of your new chapter. The betrayal that broke your heart became the key that unlocked your anointing. No one escapes divine justice. No one hides from truth forever. The woman who thought she could bury your light will now watch it rise and blind her with glory. Because when God decides to expose, no shadow can survive his flame. Don't scroll. This is not a joke. My beloved child. There are moments when heaven allows the storm to rise, not to drown you, but to wash away those who pretended to stand with you. The woman who smiled while plotting against your peace thought her actions were hidden, but heaven records everything, every whispered lie, every false prayer, every seed of doubt planted in your absence. You were loyal to someone who was secretly building a wall between you and your destiny. She pretended to care, but her heart burned with quiet jealousy. God says, my child, she admired your light, but she hated how easily you carried peace that she could never create. You began to notice how her energy changed. The way her words felt heavy, how her laughter turned sharp, how her presence began to disturb your spirit. That wasn't your imagination, it was spiritual discernment awakening inside you. You saw glimpses of her true face, but your heart refused to believe it. Because love blinds the innocent, and you, my beloved, loved purely. You gave, trusted, forgave, even when you felt uneasy. You tried to fix what was meant to fail, to heal someone who enjoyed your pain. But God says, do not blame yourself. I saw every tear that fell because of her deceit. I saw you break in silence while she celebrated your confusion. Now the tables are turning. The same silence you used to cry in will become the silence of her regret. Heaven is exposing what was done in shadows. Every lie she told about you is losing power. Every person she deceived will soon see through her mask. Her charm will crumble. Her words will carry no weight. Because truth, once released by God, travels faster than any rumor created by man. I am pulling back the curtain, says the Lord, and the world will see what you endured without vengeance. You have been tested through fire, and your soul carries scars that no one sees, but those scars are holy. They are proof that you survived something meant to destroy you. Heaven honors your endurance. You didn't fight dirty, God says, you fought with silence and faith, and that's why I am rewarding you publicly. The woman who tried to silence your voice will now hear your name praised in places she never expected. She will realize that she could wound your heart, but she could never touch your calling. Listen carefully, you are stepping into divine reversal. Every setback she caused will now accelerate your blessing. The delay she created has become the preparation ground for your overflow. God says, I am restoring every lost opportunity, every door she tried to close, and every friendship she poisoned. People who turned their backs on you will suddenly remember your kindness. Those who doubted you will apologize in ways they never imagined. You don't have to explain what happened, heaven will tell your story for you. In the next few days, you'll begin to notice signs. A dream revealing a name. A sudden message confirming your intuition. A conversation that uncovers what was once hidden. These are not coincidences. They are heaven's way of saying, it's time. The same eyes that watched you struggle will soon witness your elevation. God is not only exposing, He's elevating you above the very people who plotted your fall. You were not forgotten, you were being refined. Every tear watered the garden of your next miracle. Every betrayal carved space for better people to enter your life. The woman who betrayed you in silence will now learn that divine justice doesn't knock, it arrives. She thought she won because you stayed silent, says the Lord, but she never realized your silence was my command. Soon, her own actions will return to her in ways she cannot hide. What she whispered will be shouted from rooftops. What she plotted will become her own snare. She will finally understand that God's anointed cannot be mocked. And when that happens, do not rejoice in her downfall, instead, thank heaven for your protection. You were never meant to match her energy, you were meant to outgrow it. So, lift your head, my beloved child. You have cried enough. You have waited long enough. The same heaven that exposed her deceit is now writing your redemption. Your peace is coming back stronger. Your joy will no longer depend on the loyalty of others but on the promise of God. The betrayal that once broke you has become the prophecy that will raise you. You are walking into the chapter where your enemies must watch you be blessed, not in secret, but in the open light of day. God says, you passed the test. You stayed kind in the face of cruelty. You remained faithful when falsely accused. Now watch as I turn every wound into wisdom and every loss into laughter. The season of silent pain is over. This is the season of divine exposure and visible elevation. Don't scroll. This is not a joke. My beloved child. Heaven has seen what was done behind your back. The woman who smiled in your face while quietly destroying your peace thought no one noticed, but heaven did. Her words were sweet, her eyes calm, but her heart carried hidden envy. She copied your light, mocked your faith, and tried to make others doubt your truth. But God says, enough. Every secret she kept in darkness is now being dragged into divine light. You were not foolish for trusting her, you were chosen to reveal what real love looks like in the face of deceit. Every lie she spoke is turning into her own mirror now. The same people she deceived will see who she truly is. Her laughter will fade when she realizes heaven has reversed the plan. God whispers, do not fight. I am already fighting for you. You are stepping into vindication, the stage where truth speaks louder than rumors. What was meant to bury you will now become your platform. The same mouth that cursed you will soon speak your blessings. Lift your head, my beloved child. The betrayal that wounded you has opened the door to divine justice. Heaven never forgets the tears of the innocent. And this time, the one who tried to destroy you in silence will watch you rise in glory, untouched, unbothered, and chosen. Heaven has waited for this moment, the moment when truth finally breathes after being buried under lies. The woman who smiled in your face while planting thorns in your path thought she had won. She believed that because you stayed silent, you were weak. But silence in the hands of the chosen is never weakness, it's a weapon. God says, while she was speaking against you in the dark, I was preparing your table in the light. There were nights when you couldn't understand why everything suddenly went wrong. Friendships broke, opportunities vanished, your own heart began to feel heavy. You prayed and cried, asking heaven, what did I do wrong? But the truth is, you did nothing wrong. You carried kindness in a world that mistook it for naivety. You loved someone who never knew what real love meant. She fed on your energy, used your goodness as her disguise, and built stories where she played the victim and you became the villain. But God says, the time for pretending is over. Right now, the spiritual winds are shifting. What was hidden is being exposed. You might begin to feel restless, sensing the truth before it arrives. That's not fear, that's discernment. Heaven is opening your eyes. The same way light breaks through clouds, clarity will break through confusion. Soon, words will slip. Faces will change. Conversations will accidentally reveal secrets she thought were buried. God says, you won't need to look for evidence, it will find you. You were chosen for a reason. Your heart carries something divine, something that cannot be copied or faked. That's why you've been targeted by envy. But don't lose faith, because the attack confirms your anointing. The more she tried to break you, the more heaven fortified you. She wanted to see you crumble, but instead, you're rising. Every time she mentioned your name in mockery, the heavens recorded it. Every lie she spoke against your spirit has become a seed of her own downfall. My beloved child, I know you're tired. I know you wanted to believe in her. I know you defended her even when others warned you. That's how pure your soul is. But understand this, not everyone who smiles at you is sent to help you. Some are sent to distract you, to drain you, to test if your light can survive deceit. And yours did. You survived what was designed to silence you. You walked through betrayal with grace. You prayed for the very one who tried to destroy you. That's why heaven has chosen this moment to lift you up publicly. The next season of your life will be a season of exposure and reversal. Every door that was shut because of her interference will open twice as wide. Every connection she poisoned will be cleansed and restored. And every person who believed her lies will feel a conviction they can't explain. They will see your name rise when hers begins to fade. God says, I am preparing a new chapter for you, one that no gossip can touch. In this chapter, peace will return to you. You'll wake up with clarity. You'll feel lighter because the spiritual weight of her deception is being lifted off your shoulders. You'll notice how certain people distance themselves from her, not because of what you said, but because of what heaven is revealing to them. The exposure won't come through confrontation, it will come through divine timing. Her actions will expose her. Her own words will trap her. And when that happens, stay silent. Because your silence is still your strength. You're not who you were when she betrayed you. You've grown, evolved, and learned how to protect your energy. You've discovered that not everyone deserves access to your peace. You've learned that loyalty without discernment is dangerous. And now, you're walking into a phase of divine separation, where God removes anyone who can't go where you're headed. Don't fight it. Let go with grace. Because every exit is protection in disguise. God says, I am rebuilding you. I am replacing betrayal with blessing, sorrow with peace, and confusion with clarity. The same way she once laughed at your pain, others will soon marvel at your rise. You will stand in places you were once excluded from. You will receive opportunities that were intentionally blocked. And you will realize that her betrayal was the door heaven used to push you into destiny. Listen closely, your spirit will feel a deep calm before the miracle. That's how you'll know heaven has finished the fight. You'll stop replaying what happened. You'll stop wishing she apologized. You'll stop feeling bitterness when you hear her name. Because when God heals, He doesn't just remove the memory, He removes the sting. Soon, you'll look back and thank heaven for the exposure. You'll understand that her betrayal was never about you losing, it was about you learning who you truly are. My beloved child, heaven wants you to know, the same woman who tried to destroy your confidence will watch you walk in unshakable peace. The same hands that tried to block your blessing will now be forced to witness your breakthrough. Her manipulation can no longer touch you, because God has sealed your spirit with divine protection. You are covered. You are chosen. You are free. So stand tall. Smile again. Walk boldly into your new beginning. Because your story isn't ending in betrayal, it's beginning in redemption. God says, this is not revenge, this is justice. And justice, my child, is mine. The truth has finally spoken. Heaven has exposed what needed to be seen. And from this moment forward, no weapon formed in silence will ever prosper against you again. Heaven has seen what they did to you. The one who smiled in your face while secretly wishing for your downfall thought no one noticed her quiet betrayal, but God saw every whisper, every fake embrace, every moment she pretended to care while planting seeds of confusion in your life. You were genuine, offering love without measure, but behind that kindness, she fed on your innocence like a thief in the night. She used your trust as her mask, your silence as her weapon, your loyalty as her stage. But heaven says, the act is over. Every lie she crafted, every manipulation she performed under the cover of friendship, is now being dragged into divine light. You wondered why things suddenly began to fall apart, why your peace turned heavy, and your blessings seemed delayed. It wasn't coincidence, it was contamination. Someone had been poisoning your spirit with fake love, disguised as care. But even poison loses power when heaven intervenes, and now, divine exposure has begun. You've cried silently, holding back the storm inside you, thinking no one knew the depth of your pain. But every tear you shed was counted. Every night you felt the sting of betrayal while forcing yourself to smile, heaven took note. You didn't fight back because your soul was too pure for their games. You didn't expose them because you believed in forgiveness more than revenge. And God says, that is why I am stepping in. Your silence was not weakness, it was obedience. Your patience was not ignorance, it was protection. The same person who thought your kindness made you powerless will now see how dangerous divine favor truly is. The masks are cracking, the truth is surfacing, and the same people who believed her lies will now see who she truly is without the disguise. My child, you kept asking why betrayal had to come from someone you loved so deeply. But pain is heaven's greatest purifier. It revealed to you what your eyes couldn't see. It showed you that not everyone who prays with you prays for you. That not every, "I'm proud of you," comes from a sincere heart. That not every smile is holy. And though it hurt, you learned discernment, a gift more valuable than gold. The same woman who tried to humiliate you will soon face humiliation herself, not because you wished it, but because justice is written into heaven's law. God says, I warned her to stop, but she mocked my mercy. Now she will witness my justice. The doors she tried to shut are opening again, wider than before. The opportunities she thought she blocked will return multiplied. You will stand before the same people she turned against you, and they will see your light unshaken, your peace untouched, your spirit crowned in divine glow. This season, everything changes. The truth will not whisper anymore, it will roar. Dreams will confirm it, words will slip in unexpected places, faces will reveal discomfort when your name is mentioned. That's not paranoia, that's prophecy. Heaven is rearranging your circle. People who once ignored your pain will start to feel convicted. The woman who used your secrets as her weapon will soon realize she played herself, because heaven doesn't forget the cries of the innocent. God says, I am restoring what was stolen, and I am rebuilding what was destroyed. You will feel light again. You will breathe again. You will trust again, but this time, with divine wisdom guiding your heart. So hold your head high, my beloved. What was sent to destroy you has only refined you. You are stronger now, wiser now, holier now. Your peace is sacred, and your heart, though once broken, is now untouchable. The woman who smiled while hurting you will learn that grace has limits, and heaven always keeps receipts. You don't have to prove anything anymore. The truth is speaking for you, louder than revenge ever could. And soon, you'll watch every wound turn into testimony, every betrayal into blessing, every hidden curse into crown. God says, the story isn't over, I am writing the part where you rise. Heaven has declared your season of revelation. The storm you went through was not meant to destroy you, it was meant to expose everything and everyone that was never truly for you. The woman who smiled in your face while destroying you in silence believed her mask would never slip. She thought her lies were safe because you stayed quiet, but she didn't realize that God writes truth in thunder, not whispers. Every deceitful word she spoke has already reached heaven's ears. Every manipulation she performed, every rumor she planted, every tear she caused, all of it has been recorded in the divine book of remembrance. You carried her betrayal in silence, but now heaven is speaking on your behalf. The same silence she mistook for weakness is now roaring with divine authority. You were never blind, you were merciful. You saw the signs, the fake praise, the hidden envy, the subtle shade disguised as humor. You noticed how her presence began to drain your peace, how your dreams grew restless after seeing her smile, how your intuition screamed that something wasn't right. But because your heart was pure, you gave her another chance. You believed love could heal what jealousy had poisoned. And yet, every time you forgave her, she used your mercy as an invitation to strike again. But heaven says, no more. The time for exposure has arrived. Her words will betray her. Her plans will crumble. The mask she wore with pride will now suffocate the lies beneath it. You must understand, my child, when you carry divine favor, you attract both light and shadow. Your glow irritated the demons she refused to confront within herself. She wanted your peace but not your prayers, your blessings but not your burdens. She envied how easily you smiled even when life tested you. That envy became her downfall. God says, what she tried to curse, I have already blessed. What she tried to bury, I have chosen to bloom. The same hands that applauded your pain will now clap for your rise. The same eyes that rolled at your blessings will now watch you walk in favor they can't explain. You've been through nights when your spirit cried louder than your voice. You told yourself to keep strong, even as betrayal sliced through your soul like glass. But the truth is, heaven was closest to you in those moments. Every tear that hit your pillow became a seed of victory. Every sigh became a spiritual weapon. The pain didn't break you, it baptized you in strength. And now, you are being elevated into a season where your peace will speak louder than her gossip ever could. Heaven whispers, you don't need to announce your comeback, I've already declared it in the spiritual realm. You will start to notice the shift soon. People who once believed her lies will grow distant from her. Conversations that used to revolve around your name will now expose hers. The same energy she released will circle back, amplified by divine justice. It won't come from your hands, it will come from God's timing. And when it happens, do not rejoice in her downfall. Just watch quietly, knowing that the battle was never yours to begin with. God says, vengeance is mine. What you lost in pain, you will gain in purpose. What she stole in silence, I will return in abundance. This is not just the end of betrayal, this is the beginning of transformation. You are no longer the same person who trusted blindly. You are wiser, sharper, and spiritually armored. You will no longer chase love that hides daggers behind its smile. You will no longer explain your peace to people who feed on drama. You are stepping into an era of divine separation, where every fake connection falls away, and only truth remains. The woman who once laughed at your downfall will soon realize that the very silence she mocked was your protection plan written by God Himself. Heaven says, I am lifting you in front of those who tried to bury you. You will rise quietly but powerfully. Doors that closed in your face will now open without knocking. People who once ignored you will now remember your name. The very places that rejected you will call for you. And when that happens, remember, this isn't revenge, it's divine correction. You are not returning to prove them wrong, you are walking into what was always yours. Your heart will no longer be defined by pain, but by purpose. You may still feel the echoes of the betrayal, the confusion, the disbelief, the sadness, but those emotions are not your identity. They are reminders that you survived. They are proof that you overcame what was designed to destroy you. And soon, the same woman who destroyed you in silence will witness your rise in light so pure, she won't be able to stand under it. She will have to look away, not because you cursed her, but because heaven's favor has made you too radiant for deceitful eyes. God says, I am not only exposing her, I am exalting you. I am turning your wounds into wisdom, your silence into song, your tears into testimony. What was taken from you is being restored sevenfold. What was broken is being rebuilt stronger. You will walk through places where betrayal can no longer reach you. Every corner of your life that was once filled with pain will overflow with peace. The same story that once made you cry will become the story that gives others hope. My beloved child, do not fear what's being revealed. Truth does not destroy the innocent, it only burns what was false. You have been purified through pain, refined through heartbreak, and prepared for divine purpose. The woman who smiled while destroying you will soon learn that grace has limits, and heaven's justice never misses its mark. Walk with your head high, you have survived the shadows. And now, the light belongs to you. God says, it's time. Step into your victory, quietly, humbly, powerfully. For I have seen the tears no one saw, and I am sending restoration that no one can stop. The hour of divine justice has already begun. Heaven has taken note of every deceitful word, every secret action, every smile that hid poison behind it. The one who pretended to love you but quietly rejoiced in your struggles has entered a season where her own deception will become her chain. You were not foolish for loving her, you were chosen to demonstrate that even purity can survive betrayal. You didn't lose when she lied, she lost when you forgave. For forgiveness is the sound of heaven closing the case in your favor. God says, you did not need to prove your innocence, I was your witness all along. Now, the same woman who thought she succeeded will begin to see her illusions collapse. The people she manipulated will begin to distance themselves, not because of what you said, but because the energy of truth cannot be hidden anymore. Her words will start to contradict her actions, her charm will turn into discomfort. The darkness that once protected her will fade under the weight of light. God whispers, I am not punishing her out of cruelty, I am revealing her so that you may walk freely. What once held power over your peace is losing strength, moment by moment. You, my beloved child, have endured more than you realized. There were days when your spirit wanted to give up, when the pain felt endless, and the silence around you screamed louder than the lies. Yet still, you stood. You kept loving when love was not returned. You kept praying when hope felt thin. You kept trusting even when betrayal sat across the table. That is why heaven is now shifting the winds in your favor. Your endurance has summoned divine restoration. You lost time, says the Lord, but you did not lose purpose. What you lost in tears, I will repay in joy. Soon, signs will surround you. Unexpected blessings will begin to appear, not random, but precise, perfectly aligned with what was once taken. The heaviness in your chest will ease. You'll start feeling peace at hours you once cried. You'll sense a lightness around your name, because heaven has officially released you from every hidden curse that her envy created. The favor returning to you will not be quiet, it will be evident. Those who heard the lies will now witness the rise. The same audience that believed your story was over will watch it begin anew. Do not fear the exposure, my child. What looks like chaos is actually cleansing. People are being repositioned, truth is being revealed. Every connection built on deceit is collapsing so that only the genuine can remain. Let it fall. You do not need to chase explanations anymore, heaven is doing the talking. And when the truth finally unfolds, remain silent. Because your peace will speak louder than any defense. Those who once doubted you will feel the weight of realization. They will see that your quiet strength was not weakness, it was divine restraint. There will come a day, soon, when you will look at the one who hurt you and feel nothing. No anger, no bitterness, no desire for revenge. Just peace. That's how you'll know the healing is complete. Because true victory is not when they regret losing you, it's when you no longer need them to. The pain that once defined you will become the lesson that refines you. You will walk through the same places that once carried your tears, but this time, your steps will echo with purpose, not pain. God says, I am not only restoring what was lost, I am multiplying it. Every betrayal carved space for double blessing. Every rejection created room for divine redirection. You will begin to see why certain doors had to close, not to punish you, but to protect you. The woman who betrayed you could not go where you are destined to stand. Her spirit could not breathe in the altitude of your calling. The exposure was necessary for elevation. The betrayal was necessary for purification. What felt like loss was actually alignment. My beloved, your name is about to carry new weight. The same grace that was mocked will now open doors you didn't even knock on. Your presence will command peace. Your light will unsettle darkness. And the same heaven that saw your pain in private is preparing to honor you in public. You won't need to post revenge, you won't need to explain your story, God Himself is rewriting the ending. The ones who laughed will witness your joy. The ones who doubted will be silenced by your favor. Listen carefully, do not look back. Do not check if they've changed. Do not wait for closure that was never meant to come. Heaven already gave you closure the moment you were separated. Your heart is too valuable to keep revisiting old wounds. Instead, walk forward with a quiet smile. Because while they're still speaking your name in confusion, heaven is speaking it in rooms of opportunity. You are being lifted into a season where every delay makes sense, where every pain has purpose, where every betrayal has built you stronger. God says, be still. What is meant for you cannot be stolen anymore. What was once delayed is now on its way. I have seen the lies, the tears, the sleepless nights, and I am sending restoration in waves. The woman who smiled while destroying you in silence will now witness how divine protection works. She will learn that when heaven chooses someone, no plot can prosper. And you, my child, will finally see what peace feels like when it's not interrupted by betrayal. You will sleep easily again. You will laugh freely again. You will love without fear again. Your story is shifting, from wounded to wise, from broken to blessed, from victim to victor. Every scar you carry will soon tell someone else that survival is possible. Every disappointment will point toward divine destiny. This isn't your ending, it's your unveiling. Heaven has exposed, heaven has restored, and now heaven will reward. You have passed the test. You remained kind in cruelty, faithful in betrayal, silent in accusation. And for that, God says, watch what I do next. The tables are turning, my beloved child. Slowly, quietly, completely. And when they finally ask, how did you make it? You'll simply smile and say, heaven fought for me. Don't scroll. This is not a joke. My beloved child. You have reached the turning point, the edge between what once hurt you and what will now heal you. The season of betrayal is closing like a storm that has finally spent its rage. The same woman who smiled at you while destroying your peace has begun to feel the weight of her own intentions. It will not come as punishment from your hands but as the echo of her own choices. Heaven allows people to walk inside the mirror they built for others. And when she looks at her reflection now, she will see the very darkness she once projected onto you. There was a time when her words carried power. They shaped how others saw you, they built confusion, and they cast shadows over your truth. But that power is dissolving. The tongues that once repeated her stories are falling silent. The ones who entertained her lies are waking with uneasy hearts. It is not your job to explain it, heaven is doing that through circumstance. In the next stretch of your journey, the same spaces that once whispered your name will begin to speak favor over it. The same people who turned away will start remembering the peace that followed you. And as her influence fades, your spirit will begin to expand. You will feel a freshness that cannot be mistaken for coincidence, it is release. The energy that once bound you in fear is loosening, and the heaviness that once sat on your chest is lifting. God says, I am untying what she tried to bind. Your path is clearing, your focus is returning. The opportunities that were paused are starting to move again. You will find yourself at the right time, in the right place, with the right words on your tongue, and you will know that none of it came from effort, it came from grace. Do not concern yourself with her downfall. That is not your victory to celebrate. True victory is not seeing her fall, it is standing tall without resentment. When people mention her name, you will feel nothing but calm. That calm is proof that you are free. The story no longer controls you, it has become your teacher. You will thank the betrayal for what it built in you, discernment, patience, and strength. The fire that once burned you now warms you. You will meet new souls who mirror your sincerity. Their presence will not drain you, it will restore you. You will laugh without caution, speak without fear, and dream without dread. And when someone asks what changed, you will smile and say, I stopped giving my peace to people who didn't value silence. Heaven will surround you with authentic love, friendships that pray with you, not against you, people who celebrate you without envy. These are not replacements, they are rewards. My beloved child, you have to understand how far you've come. You endured gossip without losing grace, rejection without losing compassion, loneliness without losing faith. That endurance has created a spiritual authority around you. Darkness can no longer approach you unnoticed. You will feel intentions before they arrive, you will hear truth in every voice. That is your new protection, awareness born from experience. Heaven says, I am multiplying what remains. Every genuine seed you planted in pain is about to grow. Where you were overlooked, you will be chosen. Where you were silenced, you will be heard. Where you were delayed, you will accelerate. The woman who worked against you will be forced to watch you walk in blessings she tried to block. Yet you will not gloat, you will move forward quietly, letting grace speak for you. This is how divine justice operates, not with thunder, but with undeniable transformation. One day soon, she will hear your name again. Not in gossip, but in gratitude. Someone she once deceived will speak of your kindness. Someone she once turned away will return to apologize. And she will understand that the light she tried to dim was never hers to control. So walk calmly, my beloved. Let the world see what forgiveness looks like when it is guided by heaven. Keep building, keep praying, keep rising. You are not the person you were when this began, you are wiser, deeper, softer where it matters, stronger where it counts. The story that started in betrayal will end in redemption, and the only explanation will be that God never left you, not for a moment. And when you wake tomorrow, breathe deeply. That peace you feel is not temporary, it is permanent. The storm is over, and the sky belongs to you. Everything you've endured has brought you to this exact moment, the final turning of the tide. Heaven has finished its investigation, and the verdict is written in light: you were never the problem. The woman who smiled while secretly destroying you has now entered the place where her own words return to her. Every hidden act has a season of harvest, and that season has come. You will not see thunder or fire, justice rarely announces itself in noise. It shows itself through peace returning, through doors opening, through joy that feels effortless. You will wake and realize that the anxiety she planted no longer blooms inside you. The fear that once followed her name has turned to stillness. That stillness is heaven whispering, "It's done." Do not worry about how she will face what she created. You are not the author of her lesson. The same hands that wrote mercy into your pain are writing revelation into hers. People will begin to see through the masks, her charm will lose its hold. She will try to repeat the old stories, but they will fall flat. Truth carries a different frequency now, and everyone who hears it will know. Heaven doesn't humiliate, it illuminates. And the light that now shines will make it impossible for deceit to survive. You, my beloved, will not need to fight, justify, or explain. Your peace will become your voice. The blessings that unfold around you will tell your side of the story more clearly than any argument ever could. You will begin to notice how everything you lost is being quietly replaced: relationships, opportunities, strength, faith. What returns will not look the same, it will fit better, feel lighter, last longer. You'll stop asking, "Why did this happen?" and begin saying, "I see why it had to." Because betrayal was never meant to end you, it was meant to refine you. In this final chapter, you will feel heaven's hand arranging everything back into order. The people meant to walk with you will appear naturally, drawn by your energy, not your effort. The old pain will no longer shape your choices. You will start making decisions from peace, not protection. You will find yourself laughing without looking over your shoulder, speaking your truth without fear, praying not for justice anymore, but for joy. That's how you'll know the healing is complete, when peace becomes your instinct, not your goal. The woman who tried to destroy you in silence will have her own encounter with truth. She will realize what she touched when she touched you. She will remember your kindness in the silence of her regret. It is not for you to watch or celebrate, it is simply part of divine balance. God says, "Leave her in my hands." You just keep walking. The weight of what she did will teach her what your words never could. And when she finally understands, you will already be far ahead, living in light, unbothered, untouchable. Look at how far you've come, child. The same heart that once broke now carries wisdom. The same eyes that once cried now see clearly. The same spirit that once trembled now stands still in power. You have been remade through every tear and rebuilt through every loss. Heaven did not forget your name when you felt forgotten, it was carving it deeper into destiny. The silence was never absence, it was preparation. The exposure was never revenge, it was freedom. And now, freedom is your permanent address. This is your last night in the energy of that old story. When morning comes, you will step into new soil. You will notice how peace stays, how blessings unfold easily, how laughter sounds different. You will walk lighter, because you are no longer carrying what she tried to bury in you. God says, "I am giving you back your name, your power, your peace, and this time, no one will touch it." So breathe, my beloved child. The test is over. The lies have fallen. The pain has spoken its last word. What remains is only truth, and truth loves you. Walk forward quietly. Don't look back. Let the light follow you where deceit once lived. Let your story end not in bitterness but in brilliance. And if ever you doubt what was real, remember this: heaven saw everything. Heaven judged fairly. And heaven chose you to rise. Now go, your peace is waiting. Your destiny is calling. And this time, the whole sky will move to make sure you arrive. It's over now. The storm that once broke you has cleared, and heaven has spoken your name in peace. The woman who smiled while destroying you has lost the power her deceit once carried. Her words no longer touch your spirit, her shadow no longer reaches your path. God says, "You don't have to prove anything, I've already revealed everything." Your silence became your shield, your faith your weapon, your patience your victory. What was meant to bury you has become the very ground where your blessings will bloom. You have outlived the lies, outgrown the pain, and walked straight into grace. This is the moment you stop remembering the betrayal and start embracing the lesson. You are wiser now, freer now, softer where it matters, stronger where it counts. Heaven is done exposing, now it's restoring. Walk away from the ashes, my child. The light ahead belongs to you. The battle has been won in silence. The story is complete. And your peace, that quiet, steady peace, is the proof that heaven kept every promise.